When it comes to being a self-published author, you'll be thinking about how do I get my book printed? And this is something that I've done with my book, Atomic Note-Taking, where I wanted something to be really engaging and really visual and really enticing for the reader. So I did some initial calculations of what it would cost using Lulu.com, and when you do that and you get a feel for the quality in the sample, you start to model out, well, how much could I sell this book for? And that's when you realize that your commercials just don't make sense. So what I've done is I've tested Lulu, Amazon, and IngramSpark with my book Atomic Note-Taking, and this video will be going through the print quality differences for the different price points. So let's start off. We have Lulu. So I have 3 books from Lulu, 1 book from Amazon, and 2 books from IngramSpark. And these are them here. And basically I've varied the print quality on each of these to get a feel for which ones make sense. So let's start off. Lulu. This one is the cheaper of the color options with Lulu. It comes in at a standard color, 60 grams white paperback with a matte cover, and the price for that would be £10.79 before any taxes or delivery, which is roughly $13.60 at a conversion. And first impressions with this one was not great. So the thing you have to bear in mind with printing full color is that the cheaper the paper quality is ideal for where you've only got small parts of color maybe in the text, not full color images, certainly not with a black background, that's for sure, which unfortunately is probably not the ideal design choice, but is what I went with. So I looked at this and I thought, this one is obviously not going to be high enough quality. The paper warps, it doesn't hold the ink as well, and you get some bleed through when you hold it up to the light or even just lay it flat. The text quality wasn't amazing either. It had a bit of a diffuse on it and just wasn't as crisp as I would have liked. So I immediately said that one will not be the choice, but it did come in unfortunately at the cheaper of all the books. So now we're going up in price from here. Staying with the Lulu, the next one up that I tested was the premium color 60 gram white paperback with matte cover. So now this costs £26.13 to print before any taxes and delivery, which is about $32.92. So we've jumped from £10.79 to £26.13. So over double the price. But quality wise, cover's really nice on this one. The text quality and the feel of the paper is actually really, really good. And the quality of the full color printing it's really nice. You get nice shine off the paper. So this is where the heavy premium color comes in. All in all, really nice, but just too expensive. You couldn't do this really commercially at any kind of volume. So nice for a personal copy, but I probably wouldn't do it for the audience essentially. But there is a more expensive option. This is what I use for my first test. This is the premium color 80 gram white paperback matte cover, and this is £29.27, so about £3 more, give or take. So $36.88 when you do a currency conversion. Again, the cover's really, really nice here. Love the matte finish. But this is by far my favorite. The colors just absolutely pop. The black is black on here, so you get the nice contrast between the white text on the black background. The yellow arrows are really, really clear there. The definition on some of the smaller parts of the images again is very fine, and of course the actual quality of the text is superb. the paper feels premium. The only downside, because I use this copy to actually annotate and do my edits, is that after a bit of time, when I've been laying the book out, the pages started to come away. I can't compare that to the other books because I didn't use it as much, but that was just an observation where I think the weight of the pages may be a bit challenging to open it flat. So all in all, really great, but really expensive. So again, probably couldn't go with that one for a commercial choice, but absolutely stunning if you're just doing a limited run as a gift or something like that. So now we come to Amazon. Now Amazon works differently because you can't just print them on demand. You have to sell them through Amazon. So much so that when you order your own author review copies, they actually put a banner over the front saying not for resale, and they put their own barcode on the back. So I've got my barcode behind that barcode, which is annoying because I was using them to test whether the barcode I had was the right size, and they got and plastered something over the top. Very frustrating. So yeah, you can't use this for any resale purposes, which means you have to sell through the platform. And I think the most cheeky thing out of it is when they say, I think they take 30% royalties. So if I sold the book, say for, I can't work this out, let's say $10, they'll take 30%, which would be $3. And then you're left with $7. But out of your $7, you then have the print. So it's not 30% of your costs, essentially, as in they don't take 30% of the money after print, the profit, they take it off the whole thing. So they make money on the print and they make money on the amount of the fees. And I believe they probably do the same for, I don't know about the Kindle, but I know they charge per megabyte and things like that if you're doing the ebook. So, but all in all, what is the print quality like? Because if I was to sell in Amazon, I probably would use Amazon's own print service because it's probably the most convenient. So if you buy it with Amazon, then you get it through from Amazon's printer. If you buy it elsewhere, you get it elsewhere. I haven't decided whether I'm going to go down that road yet. All in all, the cover was, I don't know, a little bit disappointing to Lulu. So Lulu is superior on the cover. It just didn't feel as smooth, I don't know, and I can notice a certain kind of wear and tear kind of shine on the page. So but it's not bad, it's fine, but the print quality is okay. I'm going to put it in the okay camp. The pages hold up when having full color. They don't bleed through as much, which is really nice. And all in all, it's not as premium as the Lulu, but would be perfectly fine as a resale copy. So to do that, this would cost as a print £12.91, which is about $16.27. That's a currency conversion just to compare prices, but the dollar version was about $18 or something. So Amazon will calculate it differently. But of course, I can't take this into my own web shop and sell this, so I can't really use it as an option outside of Amazon's own ecosystem, which in some way kind of excludes it. But if I were to sell on Amazon, yeah, it's pretty good. But we're talking about £12.91, which means after all their fees, the actual sale and price for the book couldn't go less than something like £25 or something, just to make it economically viable. So next we have IngramSpark. So IngramSpark, they allow you to order as many copies of the book yourself as you want, so then you can distribute them yourselves, or they can then send it on for distribution through the network, so it can go into actual retailers and on Amazon as well. There are obviously some things you need to think about there, because who's going to buy your book and stock it in store, because it might not sell. So there is an option to have refunds, but it doesn't really make sense because there's nothing stopping a retailer buying 1,000 copies of your book, selling none of them, and then sending them back. You pay the wholesale price of all those books. So IngramSpark will make money either way, which is interesting. And because I'm in the UK, I don't think they even send the books to you, so they end up getting destroyed. So there's just something crazy about that. You don't even yeah, it's just big risk with the option. You can disable that option, but then it means retailers may not list your book. But is what it is, right? Anyway, we're talking about print quality. So this is the premium colour printed on £70 white paper. That's how they list it. And this was £12.57 before any delivery and taxes. So it is comparable to the Amazon in price. In fact, slightly cheaper. And first impressions, this is actually really quite good. But what I did notice is, while the paper quality is all fine, the colours were washed out. So my dark backgrounds here don't look as dark as they should have been. And the diagrams there, they just don't pop. And after having experienced the Lulu very premium one, you kind of want them to pop, but they don't quite so much. So I decided that's probably not the right choice for this kind of book. So which leads us to the final one, which is the IngramSpark Ultra Premium Color. So we've gone up from the premium color to the Ultra Premium matte, and this is £16.31, so about £4 difference, which works out about $20.55. And this is much nicer. This is the version that I will actually be using for my book, partly because I can then distribute it and it's not economically unviable with Lulu's pricing. But the colour's really vibrant, which is nice. Has a nice sort of shine to the page, which gives it a bit of a premium quality, and the text is nice and sharp. So the vibrancy of the print is better on this, and I think that's where the shiny paper really comes through with the ultra premium color there. So if you want colors that are going to pop, I would recommend going for a paper that is a shiny paper, because that will allow the light to do its magic and make your beautiful artwork come through really clear. So yeah, that is the conclusion. I'm going to go with the IngramSpark Ultra Premium Colour Matte, £16.31 at a unit cost before any delivery and taxes, and it now means I can order batches of these, send them out to my audience who obviously interested in note-taking and atomic note-taking. So do check out the book if you are curious about that yourself. But yeah, that is the conclusion. So I've printed 5 different types of books, assessed them all, looked at the price points, and wanted to create this video so you don't have to go and do the same, because when I was researching it, I couldn't get a feel for what the qualities really looked like. So I hope this video has helped answer some of those questions for you. Thank you.